Hey, what's up? What's going on? It's your girl Mary Jane. Please like, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It'll be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. So, anyways, let's talk about Insecure, Season 2, Episode 3. We start off with Issa on a date, and she's kind of nervous. They're kissing and stuff, and she's making all excuses. She was like, "Your fingers is just weird." She's like, "Your fingers is just weird," and she's moving back. That's the signal that, hey, I'm going down with this. I thought I was down with this, but you know what? I can't do it. It's a bad spot to put somebody else in, but you know how it goes. When you think you're ready, you think you want it, you think you're gonna do it, and you just be like, nah. You find every reason not to. And the reason why she found every reason not to is because she still probably was hoping her and Lawrence would hook up again. Or she just feels like sometimes people don't want to be with another person or whatever until, they fully have that other person out of their system, because sometimes they hope and they wish that maybe there's another shot, and they don't want to have to say, hey, listen, when we was on break, I was with this person and that person. But she just wasn't feeling dude. It was so funny. She was like, I'm just going to leave. I'm going to put this out. She's putting on her jacket. She's putting on her clothes. And she was like, alrighty. He didn't even try to stop her. He was like, yo, I thought this was a done deal. He got blue balls. He said, you done gave the man blue balls. So anyways, you got Issa, you got Frida, they have all the kids. I mean, they're finally getting a turnout. And all of a sudden, Frida's like, yo, what's going on here? Frida's not feeling right about this because everybody that's showing up is black. And she was like, the school's 80%, Latino. So why are we getting all the black kids? And so there's two black boys that was standing up or whatever at the table. And so then Frida goes over to them like, you guys got any friends, like any amigos or whatever? And so Issa runs over quickly to like, come on, just be quiet. We got to turn up. We got kids coming. We have a classroom. We're doing our job. We're winning. Issa's like, just take the win, man. Come on. And so, and she was like, did you talk to Mr. Gaines? I know Mr. Gaines got something to do with this or whatever. And so, Issa's like, he's just looking out for us. But, Frida can't see that right now. She can't see that they're winning. And they're probably, once they, continue with these kids coming to the after school program, other kids will put the word out. And then you'll have amigas and amigos and everybody else. But Frida just feels like it's an injustice at this time point. She feels like this is wrong. So anyways, I just thought it was so funny. And Issa was like, yo, you see the attendance? We got kids here. We got kids. Issa was like, yo, just take a win. Just be happy, man. We're actually doing something good. But helping somebody. God damn it. So anyways, you get Molly. Molly, she goes to pick up a bookshelf, and then there's a couple behind her, but the woman didn't get out the car yet, and it's the black guy standing on the steps. And so Molly has on her heels. She has on her business attire because she is an attorney. And so the guy at the delivery dock is like, the bookcase is pretty heavy. You sure you want to carry this? What, you don't want him to help you? And so Molly was like, he's not with me. And so Molly struggles and struggles, and she carries that bookshelf down them stairs with them heels on, them 7-inch heels, them 8-inch heels, and she got them heels on. But she carries the bookshelf and she puts it in the trunk, and then she turns around and she looks up, and she see that the black guy that was standing behind her is helping and assisting his girlfriend, which is a Caucasian woman. And she's just looking how easy it is for this Caucasian woman that got this black man helping her, and she don't got to struggle because she got her man next to her. And so Molly's just looking like, wishing that, she had a man helping her or whatever. And also probably thinking like, damn, I wish I had me a black man. But you know what? You get used to saying that. Is it can't bother you. You just gotta. It's of the norm now. You see it all the time. So it's just like whatever. And that's how Molly was like, whatever. He ain't with me. He ain't with me. But only thing that was different, like I see these scenarios all the time. But usually, when a black guy is with a white girl, they both stare at you if you're black. In my opinion, what this has happened to me, and they'll just stare at you like they're looking for some type of expression, like you're gonna roll your eyes or get upset, or you're gonna say something to strangers. You know what I mean? It's just like, come on, like it's not a big deal. I don't care. It don't bother me. But usually they will stare, especially in that type of scenario. Be like, look at her carry that. So I just thought that was just funny. So anyways, so Molly, so Molly, she's trying to put her bookshelf together. She has East over her house, and then they're talking, and then Molly saying, that she's not gonna go to her therapist anymore. She said she's gonna find herself a new doctor because her doctor's always trying to put her shit on her. Oh, just because we got brown titties. Oh, Molly is a mess. You have heard people like Molly say that, hey, I'm not going back to this doctor because they did this, they did that, and they're throwing the issues on me, or they don't understand, or they make no sense, and I had to correct them, and I had to teach them. So, right now, Molly's in denial of counseling because Molly wants to Molly wants to conquer her goal, and that's become partner or get a raise, get a bonus, but she doesn't want to be defeated, and she's always going to keep trying to concede because she knows how she wants things to plan out, and she says she sees herself, you know what I mean, and it should be this way, and I am going to make it that way. That's just how she is, and she's going to keep going. She ain't going to stop. And so anyways, then Issa says, as she's like, fixing the wine, Issa was like, there's a lot of brown titties around, around the city or whatever. So, you can get yourself another doctor. And then Molly was like, you got jokes? Then Molly goes, well, there's plenty of brown dicks around. And why ain't you got one? That's the biggest dig when one of your friends say to you, you ain't got a man. You ain't got a man. I mean, she got her on that one and whatever. And Issa was like, fucking is hard. You don't know if he's gonna be good, you're gonna be good. It's gonna be awkward, and all these other things happen. And so Molly was like, it's just like riding a bike, girlfriend. It's just like riding a bike. Once you learn how to ride a bike, you never forget them. Then Issa was like, I don't know how to ride a bike. I thought that was so good. And so, Issa was like, I just be all up in my head, you know what I mean? Just thinking about shit, be all up in my head or whatever. What if it's not good? I just be stuck in my head. And so then, Molly says, what you think therapy is like? Therapy is like the same thing. I'm stuck in my head talking to a stranger, but at least at the end, you got an option to fuck. Molly is too much, but she got a point. So then they talk about, we never had a whole phase. We never freaked around. We never just did our thing. We never had a whole phase. We never been out here just, doing a little Kim thing out here. And so, Issa was like, that's because I'm at Lawrence, and we just kind of booed up, and then, the energy in the room goes down because, when your friend breaks up with a boyfriend, you got to do everything possible to make sure she can forget about him and everything's good. So you go the extra mile. So they end up going out. They end up going out to the bar, and they're all dressed up or whatever. And Issa got on these white shoes. She can't walk fast or whatever. There's two guys that at the bar by themselves or whatever. And so Molly was like, come on, let's go, because Molly says she's gonna show Issa how to be a whore. and so Issa put on these shoes that make her walk slow and walk funny because she's probably not used to wearing them type of shoes, and that shit do happen. When you out with your friend, they got on shoes like, I can't walk in these shoes. I can't walk too far in these shoes. So anyways, Before they get there, some other girl shows up or whatever. So then now they're sitting at the bar or whatever, and they're sitting at the table and they're looking around to see what type of guys, who's available, who to talk. You know, Molly's pointing out this one and that one. He's whatever. Oh God, I mean, it was just too funny. Oh God. And it was just like, you know, Issa looked like she was all uncomfortable. She had the white shoes with the flowers on them and everything. And Molly is just like in her comfort zone. I'm trying to hook my girl up. She's trying to make, you know, Issa feel better about herself. She's trying to make Issa forget about Lawrence and, you know, just move forward or whatever. But Issa is not feeling it at all. Issa is not feeling it at all. And so then, you know, Molly's over there. She's talking to a guy, whatever, and they're having a good conversation or whatever. And the guy looks good, you know. He got it going on. And so, anyways, you have, you know, Issa's at the bar. She's talking to the guy's friend. And then Issa was like, oh, so would you take somebody home tonight? Blah, blah, blah. She's asking him questions or whatever. And then he says to her, listen, I'm only over here because my boy wants to spend some time with your girl. And then he go, yo, that's the most disrespectful shit that you can do. But it does happen where whoever you're with, you be the wingman and go keep friend busy so your friend could ever get to know the person or whatever. And so then the guy says, do you have any friends? And they both looked at each other and just turned around like, and they just separated, not talking, not having even a conversation with each other. And so then, you know, what's her name? Molly, she's at the table with a guy, and her guy was like, why are you looking over there, whatever? She's like, I'm just looking out for my friend. I'm just looking out for my girl or whatever. And then the guy says, I think his name is Leonard, Lano or something like that. And he says to her, you're a good friend, but you're not a good listener. And so then, you know, Molly was like, I could do both. And then she hands him her card or whatever. And he was like, oh, you're going to give me a business card? You're going to hit me with that? I'm going to try to remember it. It was just too funny. And so then they leave the club. I thought it was so funny when the guy was like, yo, you got any friends? And then so now Issa, she gets home. And then, you know, she's feeling lonely. She's feeling frustrated. She's just feeling like everything's not going like it's supposed to go right now, especially in personal life. At work, it's going good. She got the kids. But right now, she's still missing Lawrence. She hasn't hooked up with anybody. The last guy she tried to hook up with, she just totally was just like, no. It's not going to work. So then she gets her vibrator and she's going to town, and all of a sudden the battery dies. And so now she's looking in the fire. She's looking in the what do you call it? The smoke detector. It's not the right size battery. She's looking in the flashlight. It's not the right size battery. So at the end, she's not able to get it on or whatever. And so it's like she's having the worst luck in the world. It's like everything's going wrong. What's going on? The energy's all off. And so it's just like, damn. Oh man, poor her. So, oh man, so messed up and everything. I was like, damn, Issa, why you gotta go down like that? Why you gotta be like that for you? So anyways, so then, you know, Frida and Issa, they meet up with their boss, Joanne. Joanne's so excited. She was like, everything's going well. I just got a conversation with Principal Gaines. Everything's going good. Everything's good. And then Frida was like, did you talk to anybody else at the school? And, you know, Issa's just saying, like, I hope this bitch don't fuck up what's good for us. Right now, we're winning right now, you know? And so Joanne was like, I didn't talk to anybody else, but I heard the attendance rate was, you know, phenomenal. And also, you guys keep up the good work. You was right, Issa, to keep going, put your back until you did it. And so everything's cool or whatever. But Frida's not feeling that. Frida's gonna blow up the spot sooner or later. And so Molly ends up going on a date with the guy that she met in the club. They're having a good date, but he kind of got like a 5-year plan. He wants to get married. He wants to have kids. You know, he loves kids or whatever. And he has his own business and all this other stuff. Like his life is in order and everything's correct. And all he needs is someone to fit into his life that is down to get married and have kids. And Molly's been looking for that, but right now she's not feeling it and she's not feeling him. And she was like, okay, but they did have a great first date supposedly, but you know, Molly don't want to see him no more after that. So anyways, it's time for Lawrence to get ready to go to the cookout, but Lawrence is at work and his co-workers are like, you know, come out with us, come out to the single thing that it happens on Saturday, blah blah blah. And so they ask him if he's dating, if he's with anybody. He goes, he's just dating. His co-worker said that means he's just sticking his dick everywhere. And so the girl that's sitting next to, you know, Lawrence, she seems like she kind of like Lawrence or whatever. And so, but she has a guy that's all over her every moment and every minute while she's on her computer, and he finally leaves or whatever. And it's like, you know, she had banged him, we didn't know, but she had sex with him, and that's why he was acting like that. And she was like, it was a very stupid decision. So anyways, Lawrence gets to the cookout, and so they asked Lawrence, so what are you doing? He goes, I had to go pick up some chairs. I was like, oh, this story is getting worse and worse. It's like pure pressure, because especially when you're around a bunch of people that are single and you're trying to start something. But you know, Tasha was just like a rebound in a way, but a good rebound for him or whatever. She built up his confidence in a lot of ways. And so anyways, Lawrence gets the chairs. He runs to the cookout. As soon as he gets to the cookout with the chairs, the people snatched the chairs out of his hand. He was like, hey, watch my fingers. And so anyways, then after that, you know, he meets, you know, Tasha's uncle. And she was like, that's just my play uncle. And so then Tasha walks away, and then one of the guys say, hey bro, help me hook up these speakers. And Lawrence says, is music allowed in the park? And so then the guy says, oh, you wanted them following rules, ass nigga. Hand me that plug, nigga. And then Lawrence get a text from his coworker. He's like, hey, come and join us tonight. Come and, you know, if you can get away, come and have fun. So immediately Lawrence wants to bounce because he's feeling uncomfortable. He's feeling like, you know, I feel like, you know, he feels like he's going to be he's almost getting too close to Tasha. It's almost like in a relationship because he's meeting her family. He's at the cookout. He's going to be meeting everybody. And he's not really feeling that. It's just too much. And maybe he feels like the family is just like a little bit weird because he's looking at the girls playing the harmonica. I mean the flute. He's looking at them playing the flute. He's looking at the kids running around, bumping into him, and he's just looking around. He's not feeling comfortable. He's not feeling like this is where he needs to be. And so as soon as he get that out to bounce, he bounces, and he doesn't even think about Tasha's feelings or anything like that. He just leaves. But he thought he was coming back, but he didn't go back. So he went to the bar where his friends are at or whatever. And it was like, hey, you made it. They're having drinks, they're having fun. And then one of the waitresses flirts with Lawrence. Makes him feel a little bit better about himself as well. And he feels like, you know what? This is where I want to be with my co-workers. So he orders shots for the tables. They getting lit. They're getting lit. And so then, you know, his co-worker was like, you know, you need to stay, you know, at night. It gets really lit in here at night. And then, you know, Lawrence is like, why? Because everyone is drunk. He was like, yeah, and drunk people make stupid decisions. And so then the co-worker that slept with the other co-worker said, you know what, I'm gonna go over here in the stupid decision section. That shit was funny. That shit was funny. And so another part that was funny, when Issa was painting her apartment or whatever, she was painting her apartment and she was talking to Molly. Molly was complaining and kind of like she's not feeling the new guy. And then Molly was like, he sounds just like you. And Molly's painting, and Issa's painting, and she didn't open any windows, and she passed out for a second on the phone. And Molly was like, open the windows, girl. So when she opened the windows, she sees her neighbor downstairs, and she's thinking he looked good. I think he looks like Mace, in my opinion. So anyways, and Issa did a good job on painting. She did a good job. And then she looked up at the roof and she seen there was still some black paint on there. She was like, you're not going to steal my joy today. So she grabs a charger, and she goes downstairs to her neighbor's house, and she was like, hey, is this your charger? Did you leave this? And he was like, oh yeah, I did. He was like, oh, you want to come in? You smoke weed? And she was like, So Issa comes in or whatever. They chilling. Issa tries to kiss him, and then they knock heads. And so homeboy was like, I like it rough. And so then, it seemed like they almost wasn't gonna make out or have sex or whatever. And then he's taking his clothes off too slow. He's moving like groggy, like slow, because he might just be mad high or whatever. So she helps him takes all his clothes. They get into the bedroom or whatever, and he's hitting it. He put her legs up or whatever. But first he asks her, "Can I titty fuck you?" And she goes, "I'm gonna have to respectfully decline." On the first time you have sex, you're gonna ask her, "Can you titty fuck her?" This is the first time. So then he puts her legs up, and she looks at it looks like, Issa was happy with what he had between his legs. And so he puts her in a position where she's hitting the headboard, things are falling off, and she's not feeling that position. She was like, "Can we switch positions, please?" And so she gets on top, she starts riding it like it ain't nobody's business. And boom, she puts that ass to sleep. He's sleeping, she's sneaking away, getting her stuff and bouncing. He was like, you can stay if you want to. You don't got to leave. And when he tells her that, she knows that she rocked his world. And so anyways, she looks at the charger. She snatches the charger to take it back because she was pretending like he left it. And then she looked over and she looked at his phone and it was on a charger. So she knew that he liked it. He lied and he wanted to get in there. They both was like on some other shit or whatever. So as Issa's leaving the house, she get a text from Felix. He was like, "We gotta hang out sometime." And so she starts to smile. She feels good because she released that energy, because she had that energy all built up when she couldn't get through with that dildo. You know what I mean? The dildo that went loose on her and died out. But she got the mandingo. So anyways, she's good. So then you cut to Molly. Molly's getting phone calls or whatever from this new guy, Lonnie, that she met and whatever, and she's just ignoring him. She's paying him dust. He invites her to a concert. She was like, no. Then he said, you want to go to this new restaurant that's open, and she says she just didn't even pay it no mind. And she has, since she don't have a man, she pays some men to put together her bookshelf. Yeah, she's bossing up. And then Molly's going back. She's gonna be going to Chicago pretty soon. She's working her ass off at her job because she wants that promotion. It's too much. It was a good episode. And so then, Lawrence is all in his feelings. He's all drunk. He's having a good time. And then who calls him? Tasha. And then we look at where Tasha's at. The cookout's over. And Tasha was like, "Yo, what happened?" And he was like, "Yo, it was kind of like, a business drinking thing at work. I ended up staying way longer than I wanted to. Blah, blah, blah." Oh, my God. Lawrence is messed up. He's messed up for that. And then so he was like, we understand longer than I supposed to, and blah blah blah. And so he was like, shit just happens or whatever. He was like, "So if you didn't really want to come to the cookout, Lawrence, you could have told me." And he was like, "No, it's not that." And he goes, "Well, I don't want anything serious." So she was like, "You know what? That means you say you don't want nothing serious, but you act like you want something serious because you said that you were sorry for sleeping with Issa and all this other stuff, and you act like you wanted something, and you was lying, so you wasn't even sorry. So you don't care about my feelings. You don't care anything about me. You just ghosted here. You just came and you just bounced. You ghosted. You know how bad that makes me look in front of my family, in front of my friends and everything. Like, how you gonna do something like that?" And so she was like, "You know what? You're a fuck nigga. You're a fuck dude. You're a fuck nigga that thinks he's a good dude. You ain't shit." And so Lawrence was like, "What?" So she called Lawrence out. She was like, "You're a fuck nigga that thinks he's a good nigga that ain't good." I was like, oh. She went there. Tasha went there. She said, "You're worse than a fuck nigga. You're a good dude that thinks that you think that you're a good dude. That's the worst thing about it. But you ain't really nothing but a fuck nigga." I was like, yo, her feelings was hurt, son. She was feeling all her feelings because he played her. He disrespected her. But at least he brought the chairs and he helped hook up the speakers. But he bounced. You know how embarrassing that is? That you invite your date to go somewhere and all of a sudden they disappear? That makes it seem like it ain't nothing but a booty booty call. And she was like, you tried to make it more like it was a different, that we have more of a relationship. But he just started not feeling her because he was like, yo, I was in a serious relationship. I ain't trying to get into another serious relationship right now. She was rebound, but you was making Tasha like she was your girl, eating with her, spending time with her, and everything. But he did get pissed that when they was in the house watching TV and he was trying to get some and she wasn't feeling it. And it was like he was slowly losing his attraction for Tasha. So we'll see what happens on next episode. Peace. I'm out.